Salt, the simplest ingredient in your kitchen. You sprinkle it on eggs, season your vegetables, trust it to be pure. But what if the salt you have used for decades is quietly poisoning you? From heavy metal contamination to microplastics hiding in every grain, some salt brands are putting seniors at serious risk for heart attacks, kidney failure, and dangerous blood pressure spikes. Today, we are exposing 9 salt brands you need to avoid immediately and the 2 that are actually worth your trust. Coming in at number 9, we have got Morton table salt. Morton has been a kitchen staple since 1848. The blue container with the little girl holding an umbrella. You have seen it your whole life. Your mother used it. Your grandmother used it. The brand promises purity, reliability, and that famous tagline, "When it rains, it pours." But here is what Morton does not tell you on the label. Independent laboratory testing has revealed that Morton table salt contains anti-caking agents, specifically sodium aluminosilicate. Now, aluminum compounds have been studied for decades, and while the FDA considers them safe in small amounts, research published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease has shown a potential link between chronic aluminum exposure and cognitive decline in older adults. For seniors already worried about memory loss or dementia, do you really want aluminum compounds in every meal you season? But it gets worse. Morton's processing strips away nearly all the natural minerals that occur in sea salt or mined salt. What you are left with is pure sodium chloride and nothing else. For seniors managing blood pressure or taking heart medications, this means you are getting maximum sodium impact with zero mineral balance. Potassium, magnesium, calcium, all the minerals that help regulate heart rhythm and blood pressure are gone. The texture feels fine in your fingers, pours smoothly from the container, looks white and clean, but that pristine appearance hides what you cannot see: additives that accumulate in your system over years, and a nutritional profile that has been gutted for the sake of convenience. Think about how many meals you have seasoned with Morton over the years. Breakfast eggs, dinner roasts, vegetables you prepared for your family. Every single time you trusted that blue container. You trusted that umbrella girl. You believed the company when they promised purity. Morton built trust over a century, but that trust was built before we understood what anti-caking agents do to aging bodies. Before we knew that stripping minerals creates an imbalanced product that stresses the cardiovascular system. The betrayal here is subtle but real. They promised purity. What they delivered is processed, stripped, and chemically treated. And they never updated their practices as the science evolved. At number 8, we have Himalayan chef pink salt. Pink salt has exploded in popularity over the past decade. The rosy color looks natural, almost romantic. The marketing promises ancient purity from deep within the Himalayan mountains, untouched by pollution, rich in 84 trace minerals, healthier than regular table salt. Sounds beautiful, sounds trustworthy. Sounds like exactly what a health-conscious senior would want in their kitchen. But consumer reports and independent lab analyses tell a very different story. In 2020, a study published in the journal Environmental Science and Pollution Research tested multiple pink salt brands, including products sourced from Pakistan's Kura salt mine, the same region most Himalayan salt comes from. What they found was alarming. Detectable levels of lead, arsenic, and other heavy metals in several samples. Some samples contained lead at levels that would concern toxicologists studying chronic exposure. Himalayan Chef specifically has faced scrutiny for inconsistent sourcing practices. While the brand promises premium quality, investigation revealed that supply chain transparency is murky at best. You do not actually know which mine your salt came from, who processed it, or what quality controls were applied. The salt you bought last month might have come from a completely different source than the salt you buy today. For seniors, heavy metal exposure is particularly dangerous. Lead accumulates in bones over time, and as bone density decreases with age, that stored lead can be released back into the bloodstream. Arsenic has been linked to cardiovascular disease and kidney damage. If you are already on blood pressure medication or managing kidney function, even small amounts of these contaminants can compound existing health problems in ways that are difficult to detect until significant damage has occurred. And here's the thing that makes this betrayal sting. You paid a premium for this salt. Pink salt costs 3 to 5 times more than regular table salt. You walked past the cheap options. You made what you thought was an informed decision. You invested in your health. Instead, you may have been slowly introducing toxins into your body, meal after meal, year after year. The pink color that looked so wholesome on your counter, that photographed so beautifully in your kitchen, comes from iron oxide and trace minerals, and apparently, sometimes from contaminants that have no business being in your food. Most people never learn how to spot these hidden dangers in premium products, but we will break it down at the end of the video. Now at number 7, we have Great Value Iodized Salt, Walmart's store brand. The cheapest option on the shelf. For millions of Americans on fixed incomes, Great Value products are essential. Social Security only stretches so far. Groceries are expensive, and saving a few cents on salt seems harmless. After all, salt is salt, right? But cheap comes with hidden costs. Your body pays later. Great value iodized salt, like most budget salts, contains dextrose, a form of sugar. Yes, there is sugar in your salt. Read the ingredients list yourself if you do not believe it. The reason is that dextrose is added to stabilize potassium iodide, preventing it from breaking down. But for seniors managing diabetes or pre-diabetes, even small amounts of hidden sugars add up across dozens of products. That morning salt on your eggs, that dinner seasoning, that afternoon snack, it all accumulates. The label also lists calcium silicate as an anti-caking agent. While less controversial than aluminum compounds, calcium silicate has been flagged in some studies for potential respiratory irritation if inhaled, a concern during cooking when salt particles become airborne. When you shake that canister over a hot pan, some of those particles rise with the steam. You breathe them in without even thinking about it. But the bigger issue is what you are not getting. Budget salts are processed using the most aggressive refining methods. High heat, chemical washing, and industrial bleaching remove everything except sodium chloride, the minerals your body needs for proper nerve function, muscle contraction, and blood pressure regulation are stripped away completely. Potassium that helps balance sodium effects, magnesium that supports heart rhythm, calcium that goes beyond just bone health. All gone. For seniors taking diuretics or heart medications, mineral balance is not optional. It is critical. Potassium deficiency alone can cause dangerous heart arrhythmias. Magnesium deficiency worsens blood pressure and increases stroke risk. When your salt provides nothing but sodium, every meal becomes a missed opportunity to support your aging cardiovascular system. You are paying less at the register, but paying more at the pharmacy and the doctor's office. Great value promises savings. What it delivers is nutritional poverty in a canister. Is it not strange how the cheapest foods always seem to cause the most health problems? Coincidence or something else? If this helps you stay safer at the store, hit subscribe. It is free, and it means you will never miss these exposes. Coming in at number 6, we have Celtic sea salt. Now, this one is going to surprise a lot of people. Celtic sea salt has cultivated a devoted following among health-conscious consumers. The brand emphasizes traditional harvesting methods from the coastal regions of Brittany, France, hand-raked by artisan salt farmers using wooden tools, unrefined, mineral-rich. The gray color is marketed as proof of its natural purity, evidence that nothing has been processed or bleached away. It sounds like everything you would want in a healthy salt, but recent testing has revealed a troubling reality that the company does not advertise. A 2023 analysis conducted by Korean researchers and published in Environmental Science and Technology found microplastics in sea salts from around the world, including salt harvested from European coastal waters. The same pristine French coastlines that Celtic sea salt touts as pure have become contaminated by global ocean pollution. Plastic breaks down in the ocean into microscopic particles. Those particles end up in the water. That water becomes your salt. Here is a statistic that should concern you. Microplastics are now found in 90% of sea salt brands tested worldwide, and Celtic sea salt, despite its premium positioning and artisanal methods, is not immune. The hand raking and wooden tools cannot filter out particles that are invisible to the human eye. For seniors, microplastic exposure raises serious concerns. These tiny plastic particles have been shown to cross cell membranes and accumulate in organs including the liver, kidneys, and even the brain. Preliminary research suggests they may contribute to inflammation, hormone disruption, and even cardiovascular stress. If you are already dealing with inflammation-related conditions like arthritis, heart disease, or autoimmune disorders, adding microplastics to your diet is not helping your body heal. The gray, moist texture of Celtic sea salt feels natural between your fingers. You can smell the ocean when you open the bag. The mineral taste seems wholesome and real, but in every pinch, you may be consuming microscopic plastic fragments that your body cannot eliminate, that accumulate over time, that may be contributing to health problems doctors are only beginning to understand. Celtic sea salt promised the purest product from ancient harvesting traditions. What they cannot promise is an ocean free from modern pollution. The betrayal is not the company's fault entirely. Our oceans are contaminated, but the marketing never mentions that reality. You are paying premium prices for contamination they will not acknowledge on any label or advertisement. Number 5 brings us to Redmond Real Salt. Mined from an ancient seabed in Utah, Redmond Real Salt has positioned itself as America's answer to Himalayan pink salt. The company emphasizes that their salt comes from an inland deposit protected from modern ocean pollution. No microplastics, they suggest. Pure, ancient, American source, mined from deposits laid down millions of years before humans ever polluted anything. It is a compelling story, and for a while it seemed like a safer alternative for consumers worried about ocean contamination. But here is what independent analysis has uncovered. Redmond real salt contains naturally occurring heavy metals. Because the salt is unrefined and comes directly from geological deposits, it retains trace elements from the ancient seabed, including arsenic, lead, and aluminum. In most cases, these levels fall below FDA limits. But below FDA limits and safe for daily consumption by seniors are not the same thing. The FDA's acceptable limits are based on population averages, not on seniors with compromised kidney function, heart conditions, or those taking multiple medications that affect how the body processes and eliminates heavy metals. Heavy metals accumulate over time. Your body stores them. What seems negligible in a single serving becomes significant over months and years of daily use. Consumer reports have also noted variability in Redmond's product. Because it is unrefined, each batch can differ in mineral content, including contaminant levels. The salt you bought in January might have a different heavy metal profile than the salt you buy in July. You do not know exactly what you are getting from one purchase to the next. There is no batch testing published. No transparency about variation. The pinkish tan color looks natural and appealing. The slightly moist texture feels mineral-rich and unprocessed. But for seniors managing chronic conditions, the uncertainty alone should give pause. When your doctor carefully calibrates your medications, the last thing you need is an unknown variable in your daily diet. Redmond promised purity from an ancient source, protected from modern pollution. What they delivered is geological contamination from millions of years ago, plus no guarantee of consistency. Ancient does not mean clean. Do not go yet. The solution comes at the very end, and it could change how you season your food forever. At number 4, we have McCormick sea salt. McCormick is one of the most recognized spice brands in America. When you see that red and white label in the grocery aisle, you think quality, reliability, decades of trust built through consistent products that have flavored American kitchens for generations. But McCormick sea salt carries hidden risks that most consumers never consider. Like other sea salts, McCormick's products are vulnerable to microplastic contamination. Testing has confirmed that sea salts from various global sources contain plastic particles, and McCormick sources from multiple international locations to meet consumer demand. Without transparent testing and disclosure, you have no way of knowing the contamination level in your specific container. The bottle you pick up could come from Mediterranean waters loaded with plastic, or from cleaner Pacific sources. You simply do not know. But there is another issue specific to McCormick: processing methods. While McCormick markets sea salt as a more natural alternative to table salt, their processing is not fully transparent. The salt is cleaned, dried, and packaged through industrial processes that may remove some beneficial minerals while failing to eliminate all contaminants. You get the worst of both worlds: processing that strips beneficial content while leaving harmful content behind. For seniors, the issue is trust. McCormick built its reputation on being a premium brand worth the extra cost. But premium pricing does not guarantee premium safety. You are paying for a name, for familiar packaging, for decades of brand recognition, not for verifiable purity standards that you can actually confirm. The crystals look clean and uniform. The sea salt label suggests ocean freshness and natural origins. But uniformity often indicates heavy processing, and ocean sourcing now comes with environmental contamination you cannot see, smell, or taste. The same blue ocean that looks beautiful in vacation photos is filled with microscopic plastic from every continent. McCormick promised quality you could trust. What they have delivered is uncertainty wrapped in familiar packaging. Brand recognition is not the same as safety verification. Why do you think billion-dollar food companies can keep selling products with known contamination risks without ever changing their practices? Think about that. What is the worst salt brand you have ever used? Drop it in the comments below. Number 3 on our list is Trader Joe's Pink Himalayan Salt. Trader Joe's has built a loyal following by offering seemingly premium products at affordable prices. Their quirky branding, friendly staff, and unique product selection have created almost a cult-like devotion among shoppers. Their Pink Himalayan Salt is a bestseller. Customers love the distinctive color, the mineral-rich promises, and the Trader Joe's guarantee of quality. But Trader Joe's does not mine their own salt. They do not process it themselves. They source from the same Pakistani mines and in international suppliers that serve countless other brands, including some of the ones we have already mentioned on this list. And that supply chain is where problems hide. In 2022, an investigative report revealed that many pink salt products, regardless of brand, contain concerning levels of lead and other heavy metals. The contamination comes from the geological deposits themselves, not from processing. Trader Joe's, despite its friendly branding and quality reputation, Transportation has never publicly released independent testing data for heavy metal content in their pink salt. They ask you to trust them. They have not given you a reason to. For seniors, this matters enormously. Lead exposure, even at low levels, has been linked to cognitive decline, kidney damage, and cardiovascular complications. If you are already managing high blood pressure, heart disease, or kidney function issues, chronic lead exposure from your daily salt intake adds unnecessary risk to your already careful health management. The cheerful trader. Joe's packaging inspires confidence. The affordable price feels like a smart choice. The pink color looks healthy and natural, like something that came from the earth unspoiled. But without transparent testing, you are trusting a brand to verify safety standards they have not proven they meet. You are trusting their supply chain without any visibility into it. Trader Joe's promised quality you can trust at prices you can afford. What they have delivered is a sourcing black box, where you have no idea what is actually in your salt. Statistics show that over 80% of pink salt tested in various studies contains measurable heavy metals. Trader Joe's has not demonstrated their product is any different. Until they do, you are gambling with every shake of that container. Coming in at number 2, we have Diamond Crystal Kosher Salt. Ask any professional chef, and Diamond Crystal often comes up as a favorite. The large, flaky crystals dissolve easily, distribute evenly, and provide better control over seasoning than fine table salt. Cooking enthusiasts swear by it. Food magazines recommend it. YouTube cooking channels feature it prominently on their counters. But Diamond Crystal's popularity among young food influencers does not mean it is safe for everyone, especially seniors with specific health concerns. First, the processing. Diamond Crystal uses an evaporation process that creates its distinctive flaky texture. While less refined than some table salts, the process still strips away trace minerals that naturally occur in salt. What you get is nearly pure sodium chloride in a convenient form, but sodium chloride alone, without mineral balance, can be harder on aging cardiovascular systems. You are getting all the sodium impact with none of the mineral benefits. Second, the lack of iodine. Diamond Crystal Kosher Salt is not iodized. While iodine deficiency was largely eliminated in America through iodized table salt decades ago, many seniors have switched to kosher or sea salts without realizing they are no longer getting this essential nutrient. Iodine deficiency in older adults can affect thyroid function, metabolism, and cognitive health. Your doctor probably is not asking what kind of salt you use, but maybe they should be. Third, portion control becomes tricky. The large flake size means you might use more salt by volume than you realize. Recipes designed for fine salt do not account for the different density of flaky crystals. Seniors carefully monitoring sodium intake for blood pressure or heart health can easily overconsume without knowing it. That pinch you add by habit contains more sodium than you think. Diamond Crystal promised chef-quality results in your home kitchen. What they delivered is a product optimized for texture, not health, stripped of minerals, lacking iodine, and easy to overuse without realizing it. The flakes look beautiful. They feel professional between your fingers. But beauty and health are not the same thing. Stick around. The number 1 salt to avoid is next, and you will not believe which trusted brand made the list. Plus, the 2 safe alternatives are coming right after. And at number 1, the worst salt brand to avoid is La Baleine sea salt. La Baleine has been harvested from the Mediterranean Sea since 1856. French heritage, classic blue canister with the whale logo. The brand evokes images of pristine coastlines, traditional methods, and European quality standards that seem more trustworthy than American mass production. But La Baleine sits at number 1 on our avoid list for important reasons that go beyond marketing. First, Mediterranean contamination. The Mediterranean Sea is one of the most polluted bodies of water in the world. Surrounded by heavily industrialized nations including Italy, France, Spain, and the entire North African coast, receiving runoff from multiple continents, the Mediterranean has become a trap for microplastics, heavy metals, and industrial pollutants. Studies have shown that Mediterranean sea salt contains among the highest levels of microplastic contamination found anywhere on Earth. A 2018 study published in Environmental Science and Technology found that sea salts from the Mediterranean contained significantly more plastic particles than those from other regions. Researchers detected an average of 550 plastic particles per kilogram in Mediterranean salt samples. La Baleine, harvested directly from these waters, cannot escape this reality no matter how traditional their methods. Second, heavy metal concerns. Testing has revealed detectable levels of cadmium and lead in Mediterranean sea salts. For seniors, Cadmium is particularly dangerous. It accumulates in the kidneys and can accelerate kidney function decline in those already managing chronic kidney disease. Once cadmium is in your system, it stays for decades. Your body cannot eliminate it efficiently. Third, the marketing mismatch. La Baleine sells nostalgia and tradition. The vintage packaging suggests timeless purity, but the Mediterranean of 1856 and the Mediterranean of today are completely different bodies of water. What was once pristine is now polluted by the combined industrial output of dozens of nations. The tradition remains. The purity does not. The coarse crystals feel natural between your fingers. The slightly gray tint suggests mineral richness and authenticity. The French heritage implies quality and sophistication, but every pinch carries microscopic plastic fragments and potentially harmful metals from one of Earth's most contaminated seas. La Baleine promised Mediterranean heritage and natural purity. What they deliver is concentrated modern pollution from waters that can no longer provide clean salt. The heritage is real. The purity is a memory from a century ago. For seniors managing heart conditions, kidney function, blood pressure, or any chronic health issue, this salt represents the ultimate betrayal of trust. The very thing you use to flavor healthy home-cooked meals could be undermining your health with every meal you prepare. Do you think the government protects consumers or the food industry that funds their campaigns? It is a question worth asking when products like this stay on shelves year after year without any warning labels. Have you noticed how brands keep getting caught with contamination but nothing ever changes? Tell me your experience in the comments. Safe pick. Number 1. Jacobson Salt Company. Pure Flake. Sea salt. Now, here is what you have been waiting for. After everything we have exposed, you need to know which salts are actually safe, which brands deserve your trust and your money. Jacobson harvests their salt from Netarts Bay in Oregon, one of the cleanest coastal waters in the United States. The bay is protected from industrial runoff by its remote location on the Oregon coast, far from major cities and manufacturing centers. It is regularly monitored for water quality by state and federal agencies, and it produces salt with remarkably low contamination levels compared to international sources. But here is what really sets Jacobson apart: transparency. Jacobson publishes their testing results. They disclose mineral content, contamination testing, and sourcing information publicly. For seniors who have been betrayed by vague labels and hidden ingredients, who have spent decades trusting brands that did not deserve that trust, this transparency is invaluable. You can actually verify their claims. You can see the test results yourself and make an informed decision. The salt itself is minimally processed, evaporated using traditional methods that preserve natural trace minerals without introducing additives. No anti-caking agents, no hidden aluminum compounds, no dextrose, just salt the way it should be. Independent analysis has confirmed that Jacobson's products consistently test among the lowest for microplastics and heavy metals in the sea salt category. The Oregon waters, far from major industrial centers on the Pacific coast, simply contain less pollution than Mediterranean or Asian sources. Geography matters when it comes to salt quality. The flaky texture provides excellent control over seasoning. You can see exactly how much you are using. The clean, bright flavor enhances food without the chemical aftertaste some processed salts leave behind. And for seniors managing blood pressure, the presence of natural potassium and magnesium provides better mineral balance than stripped table salt. Jacobson costs more than budget options. But for seniors prioritizing health, the premium reflects genuine quality, not just marketing. You are paying for clean sourcing, transparent testing, and minimal processing that preserves what salt should provide while eliminating what it should not. This is salt you can trust. Finally, safe pick number 2, Maldon Sea Salt Flakes. Maldon has been produced in Essex, England since 1882. The distinctive pyramid-shaped crystals have made it a favorite among chefs and home cooks worldwide. But what makes Maldon our second recommendation is not tradition alone. It is verification through rigorous testing that you can actually examine and trust. Maldon undergoes rigorous testing through UK and European food safety standards, which are often more stringent than American requirements. The European Union takes food contamination seriously, and companies must prove their products meet standards rather than simply claiming compliance. The company has consistently demonstrated low levels of contaminants in independent analyses that are available for public review. The harvesting location matters too. Maldon sources from the Blackwater estuary, which, while not pristine, faces less industrial contamination than Mediterranean or heavily trafficked Asian waters. The controlled evaporation process produces clean, consistent results that you can rely on from one purchase to the next. For seniors concerned about microplastics, Maldon's testing has shown among the lowest levels of any sea salt on the market. The pyramid flake structure also provides excellent portion control. You can see exactly how much you are using, making sodium management easier for those monitoring blood pressure or heart health. No more guessing how much salt just came out of that shaker. Maldon contains no additives, no anti-caking agents, and no hidden ingredients. What you see on the label is what you get. Sea salt. Nothing more. That simplicity is exactly what seniors need after decades of being misled by complex ingredient lists and deceptive marketing. The delicate crunch and clean flavor enhance food without overwhelming it. For seniors who have spent a lifetime seasoning meals, who understand the difference between good salt and bad salt, Maldon delivers the quality your cooking deserves without the hidden health risks of contaminated alternatives. Like Jacobson, Maldon costs more than budget salts. But consider what you are avoiding. Microplastics, heavy metals, anti-caking chemicals, hidden sugars, and the accumulated health burden of daily contamination over years and decades. Your health is worth the investment. Your heart is worth it. Your kidneys are worth it. Your brain is worth it. Your family is counting on you to make the right choice. Every day, you season your food without knowing what you are really putting in your body. The brands you trusted for decades have betrayed that trust, hiding contamination, additives, and risks behind familiar labels and nostalgic packaging. Now you know the truth. Now you can make better choices for yourself and the people you love. Do not risk your health on salt that has been poisoning you slowly. Subscribe now. And if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.